Hey guys, Beauty Heathen here. I'm not doing my usual lead-in. It's been a very long and difficult few days, and for anyone who's especially been following me on my personal Twitter, you probably know why. I planned on doing a ritual today, which I still am gonna do. Irony of the situation is I meant to bring up oil, I meant to bring up herbs, and I forgot all of the above. So, we're going to go and go forward with this without all the bells and whistles, I guess you could say. Because, one, I don't feel like going back downstairs right now. And two, I want to demonstrate that you actually can do ritual work without all that kind of stuff. Now, I want to make an addendum that I'm not using just a plain regular candle in this. I did buy an actual healing candle, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted to give a little oomph to what I was doing. But with that said, you aren't required to buy a healing candle in any way, make, shape, or form. You can just go ahead and use a regular purple candle or white candle, or really any color you're looking to use. I'm just going ahead and I had bought a large healing candle, and as you can see, Amazon kind of banged the ever-loving hell out of it. Yeah. Ironically, this candle was supposed to be at my house. Today's Sunday. I think it was supposed to be at my house on Wednesday. And it got delayed 2 days, and it got finally delivered yesterday. And yeah, they were not kind to my candle. Now, obviously, I am not going to be leaving this unattended, so I didn't bother bringing up anything to put it on. But if you're doing anything like this at home, please do put candles or anything of that nature on some sort of heat-safe container that is meant to be protective and keep the wax and everything contained within it. So, you're probably wondering, why does she have a map in front of her? Well, ironically, my original plan was to do some sort of healing ritual to try to help with the coronavirus, but something told me I'm not meant to do that, at least was not yet. I have no idea why. One thing that, especially when you start to become practicing with doing rituals and that kind of stuff, is sometimes you just, even though you want to do something, you sense that you're not supposed to. And especially that you can find that happens sometimes when you are especially intuitive, or if you are in a lifetime where you have a higher calling. I happen to be in one of those in this lifetime, and just simply because of that, sometimes when I want to do something, I get a very strong indicator whether or not I should do it. And last night, off camera, one of the things that I did, because I was starting to get that feeling, was I asked my cards and I asked the universe, is it okay for me to do something for the coronavirus? And I got a very clear indication of no. So I have to listen, because if I go against that, well, it could backfire. And anything I try to do could end up doing more harm than good, I guess you could say, even if it's not intentional. But I did ask if I could do a general healing, and the answer was yes. So I am going to go ahead and do that, and I actually just received this map from Amazon. And the reason why I got this is because I wanted to give the focused intention to bring healing to everyone. Not just people in America, not just people in one specified area, but a universal healing across the board to everyone. And every so often I do something like this. I obviously haven't had the map before, but where I just received that today, but usually around New Year's I do a blessing ritual for either loved ones or people in the world. I ask that kindness be more prevalent. I ask that people in general just be nicer to one another. I don't know if it ever always works, especially with the way that you see things online, but I keep trying. So, since I don't have the bells and whistles of my oil and my herbs because I forgot them, I am going to try to give this a bit of a boost by using crystals. Because I have them, and because crystals are generally a really good way to focus intention, especially if you don't have herbs and oils. Now, you don't need fancy crystals, you really, really don't. You can just do the inexpensive quartz crystals, although I think that one may not be a quartz. I have a fluorite here. This is selenite. My chakra stones. Just looking in general. Here is a quartz crystal. What I'll sometimes do is I'll find any crystals that have any kind of a point, and I'll use them in the corners to kind of like focus the intention where I want it to go. Even if it doesn't have a point per se, sometimes you can find a pointed corner. Yeah, I'll use a Herkimer. So, I try to do something like that, nothing too fancy. Okay. I am feeling like I'm gonna need that rose quartz. Oh. Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up a crystal grid. I'm placing the candle in the middle of the map as much as I can. And a crystal grid doesn't have to follow any sort of pattern. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. I'm just placing things how I feel is right for this. So here I have a Herkimer diamond. I have a amethyst obelisk. I have another Herkimer diamond there. I have clear quartz here. This is the heated amethyst or citrine point in this corner. Yep, you can see it. Rose quartz. I think this is a clear quartz, but I'm not sure. It could be a Lemurian. The name is escaping me. I'll probably put it as a note somewhere. Blue calcite, rainbow fluorite, and it's rainbow because it has many different types of fluorite in one stone, and it even has, I don't know if they'll show up or not, some inner rainbows within the stone. And it has green fluorite, purple fluorite, blue fluorite, clear fluorite. I think that's all of them in there. This stone is selenite. This is my angel aura quartz, and this is orange aragonite cluster. So with that said, when you buy these candles, these are from Crystal Journey Crystal Journey candles. And this is specifically the healing Reiki energy charged candle. And it does come with a little saying on it. This one says, I feel the healing powers of the white light and am drawn closer. I am healed and restored to wholeness. You can use that and repeat it like 3 times. Or you can do what I'm going to do and charge it with my own energy and my own intention. Now what you can also do is like use this paper and write on the back of it or write behind it if you're trying to focus it for anybody specifically, and put it underneath the candle, obviously in its glass container, as you should do, or other heat safe container, and just place it under there as another focuser if you have a person or people specifically in mind when it comes to doing any sort of ritual like this. Now, anything like this, especially if you are someone who's Christian or of another Abrahamic belief system, this should not be anything that is in any way, make, shape, or form against your belief system. Typically how I look at rituals is as a form of prayer. And basically you're just asking for assistance from the universe or God or goddess, whoever you want to call upon, to help carry that out and help carry that through in whatever way you're intending to do so. So if you are watching this and if you have need of healing, if you have anyone you feel is in need of healing, if you have any specified person, illness, even if it's mental, emotional healing that's needed, not necessarily physical healing. This is an all-around universal healing that I'm going to conduct for everybody. So if there is anything that you wish to have fulfilled, be it for yourself or for somebody else, by all means, while you watch me do this and watch me put my hands on the candle and everything of that nature, I want you to also try to feed your own energy into this candle. Obviously, I won't be leaving this candle lit and you're watching this after the fact of my doing this, but once you feed your intention into this candle while I'm doing this, while you're watching the video, and I'll probably wait a week, I will set this entire thing back up in another location that's safe, out of reach from my pets, and with the candle in a heat safe container, and I will relight it. So that will ensure that if you have specified requests, that they will also be included in this ritual. Okay? So with that said, like I have guided in how to make a ritual candle, I have already smoke cleansed this candle, as well as the map and the crystals. Everything was already cleansed off camera. And now, just like I instructed before, I'm taking my hands and I'm putting them on the candle. And now I'm mentally making my request, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mentally push that request down my arms and into the center of the candle. I'm not going to speak while I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One, so I can concentrate, and two, so you can concentrate on your own requests and feed them into the candle simultaneously. Okay? And with that, here we go. Okay. So with that said, as I stated before, what is right for me is to use a wood match, but obviously if you are doing something like this in your own home, feel free to use whatever lighting source you feel is right for you. I just personally feel that a wood match is the best for my own purposes. And obviously, as an addendum, if you are under the age of 18, please make sure if you do anything like this, you do it with under the supervision of an adult. Always got to put in the disclaimer. I'll let it burn for a little bit. Feel free to keep feeding into the candle your wishes and your desires and your requests. Okay? And with that said, I hope this was helpful in some way. I'm sorry it wasn't quite as in-depth and more complicated than it ended up being, but know that if you enjoy these candles, they have candles for many purposes, and many times I purchase them myself. I have one for creativity right next to me, to be honest, because sometimes when I'm doing looks on the cosmetic practice heads, I feel a little bit blocked, and I find that candle helps me be a little bit more creative while I'm doing looks when I'm talking about different subjects. But they also have candles for protection, for spirit, for love. They have tons of them, and you can generally find them on Amazon or your local pagan store. Usually they have them. That's how I got introduced to these. But again, they're not required. I'm just letting you know what they are in case they are something that you are interested in. So with that said, I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope it brings you healing and love and kindness. And most of all, I hope it brings you peace, joy, and love. And most of all, brightest blessings. And until next time, blessed be.